Hello and welcome to This Is Austin. No, you guys, have you ever wished that you had millions of followers on TikTok?
MySpace? I hear that's big with the kids these
I
days.
miss MySpace more than certain relatives. I loved MySpace, but that's not what we're here for today.
Okay.
We're here because there is a revolutionary app that is flooding the App Store. But it was like the #1 app for a while.
Okay.
And it's called...
TikTok? Instagram?
No.
YouTube?
No.
Twitter? Facebook? LinkedIn?
All of the above. It's called Hype Simulator. It's not a game. It's literally just a fake version of TikTok.
Okay.
Well, I'm going viral right now.
That was your mom liking your tweet. I know that's what happened.
So all it is a fake version of TikTok.
Okay.
Where bots comment on your video.
Okay, let's try this. I need to know.
So I'm gonna let you just go through.
All right. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so any username. Okay, my username is This Was Matt.
This was Matt. Okay.
I want to be a celebrity or going viral? I want to be a celebrity.
So it is actually different being a celebrity versus going viral.
Yeah, I want to be a celebrity.
Because celebrity, I believe you start off with like a much higher base.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a photo right here. Okay. Wow, I've got 1.5 million followers. Oh my God, look at all these people who are following me. This is incredible.
So immediately within 30 seconds,
oh my
you have
God.
1.5 million followers. So the title's not clickbait, right?
Give me some tips, please. Subscribe to, oh God, Linus. Okay, what's one message you would give your fans? Oh, I've got an ad. How to live stream on Big O Live. There's a lot of ads on this, I gotta say.
Yes, it's like literally like after anything you do is an ad. Which, if you were a true influencer, you would have just paid the 99 cents to get the paid version. And that's how you know you've made it, when you can pay that 99 cents.
Oh, 23,000 people, 4,000. Look how excited
Are
we
we
are.
live streaming right
We're
now?
live. I bet you won't recognize me. You know I'll recognize you. Okay, so what I'm really excited about here is just how exciting it is to be live with 23,000 people.
Are you interacting with your fans?
No, I'm not.
You're not.
I'm done.
You got to read through the comments.
I gotta say, my first thought, this seems kind of cool, but like I can't have fun when I'm getting an ad every 5 seconds.
So my experience was, I was looking at it and trying to do anything. The notifications of people messaging me were getting in the way of me trying to do other things in the app, like constantly. Like I was trying to select different things, and just like up at the top bar, X person messaged you, message, and I'm like, oh man, this is annoying. But also, like, until you hit reset on that, it will actually give you notifications on your phone as well.
No.
So
that sounds terrible. I don't want that.
So like my phone was just buzzing for 15 minutes.
Okay. I get the idea here that this is a cool way of trying to simulate what it would be like to be Instagram or TikTok famous. My thought though, I will say I like that 95% of the questions you get are, can you give me a shout out? Or can you give me, if it was more accurate, it would be, hey, can you please give me a free PC/phone/PS5? Because those are 99% of the messages that I get. But who is this for? Is this for some kid who just wants to imagine being TikTok famous?
Yeah, I think so. One thing that's actually different from when I tried it last night is all these people have profile pictures now.
Oh, they didn't before?
When I tried it last night, it was all just one photo. It was just the app's photo. So this is a nice touch from yesterday.
Yeah.
Most of them are the same exact message. There's only about 10 actual messages that you get. And so, like, I want to ask you, Austin Evans, is it hard to be famous like you? Because I've been plenty of places with you. Mm-hmm. We've gone to lunch, and someone's like, "Oh man, Austin Evans, can I take a picture?" Like, how many times have we gone to Micro Center?
Yeah.
And you get stopped in Micro Center?
It's weird. It's like, it's not something, if we're all gonna be like friends here, it's not something that you can ever complain about. Oh, I'm too popular and famous. Oh no. Like, that's a ridiculous thing to say, right? I mean, it's always cool when someone's like, yo, what's up? I've watched your videos. Can you say, hey guys, this is Austin on camera for me? Like, that's always fun.
You said it.
That's always fun, right? Like, it's always cool. There are certainly times in which that's not. Sometimes it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm just wearing something dumb and my hair looks dumb. I'm just like, I just don't want to talk to anyone now. I want to go to the self-checkout and go back to sleep. Like, yes, but I mean, I don't know. This is all like, this is a weird conversation for me because this all sounds incredibly douchey. Every word that comes out of my mouth. Like, how can you not feel grateful and happy that people care about you enough to say hello or want to take a photo, right? I mean, I can complain about how a lot of times when people come up, they don't say hi, they don't do anything. They just want a photo and then they leave. Or the creepiest thing is when I'm like sitting at like, well, obviously not anymore, but when I would be sitting at like dinner with my wife and there's some like kid over here taking photos of us at the table. I'm just like, yo, no, don't do that. That's creepy. No, you don't have to tell that story, Ken. Oh,
we have to tell that story.
Oh.
So someone talked to you at a urinal?
Yes. Okay. So this was a little while ago. Okay. Here's the deal, right? Me and a group of friends had gone out to watch a movie. And afterward, we went to a restaurant to go grab, some drinks and some food afterward. I walk into the bathroom and, I'm doing my thing, as you do. And this guy starts talking to me, like no introduction or anything. He just starts talking to me about like a video that I had made of like PC or whatever. When you're at a urinal, I don't want to talk to, if I'm having a conversation with someone, we walk in the bathroom, as soon as I walk up to do my thing, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm focusing. Oftentimes people will talk to me about, so I had a house fire a number of years ago at this point. I did. Yes, I'm pretty sure everyone in the universe who knows me knows that. I'll get a lot of people will be like, oh, hey, I saw your fire. Is everything okay? And it's a weird thing for me. Not that I mind talking about it. I mean, it was ancient history. It's fine. But people always talk to me about it as if it like happened yesterday. And we're talking about 6-7 years ago. And it's just like, oh yeah, it's fine. Everything's cool. And it's just like, I get that a lot of people know me as the guy whose house burned down, which is fine. Totally nothing wrong with that. But yeah, there are certain interactions which happen on a very regular basis, which are just, it almost takes me a second to like, if someone reminds you of something that happened like years ago, you almost have to like pause for a second, like mentally file back, like, wait, what? Like it's so outside your normal train of thought.
You're I don't want to say over it. I mean, like maybe you
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, but so like, it's not in your immediate cache of things in your mind. Yeah. But for them, it's the only thing in their cache of minds for coming up to you. So that's interesting.
It's weird coming back to Hype Simulator, right? Of like, it does, I mean, I will say it gives you a little bit of a sense for what your Instagram or whatever can look like. But there's a lot of other stuff that something like that can't give you a good sense of, right? Of like when you're working your ass off on like an Instagram and then it gets no likes or quote unquote no likes. Like, you spend all this time on a video and you pour your blood, sweat, and tears into it, and it does worse than a video you post that took you 30 seconds to make, right? I mean, I think there's a lot more to it. It's a much more nuanced kind of thing. I have no problem with Hype Simulator, and I feel like this whole video is just me complaining, so I do apologize for that.
No, the Hype Simulator was just something we saw, and we're like, this is a good chance to talk about this stuff.
I like it in some ways, but I think no one should look at that and think, oh, this is what it's really like. I mean, certain aspects are, but like, that's like saying that I learned how to be a professional race car driver because I played 10 minutes of F1 2020, the game, right? Like, it's obviously not really the whole experience, right? As like influencing becomes like a bigger and bigger thing. Obviously, there's a bigger slice of the pie. More and more people can make this a part-time job, a full-time job, whatever the case is. But the idea that you have some kind of following or you want to like get some kind of following, treat it like it's something that you want to sort of aspire to, not like I am betting everything and this is my life.
Pretty much every kid is playing around with TikTok in some way.
Yeah.
They're learning video, they're learning basic editing, and every one of them is going to have a leg up compared to where you were, compared to where I was.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, I was a college professor. One of the things I was stressing, which was not necessarily a popular thing at a film school, was teaching new media.
Yeah.
Like one of my biggest assignments in a film class, which everyone's like, why would I ever need to know this, was I was teaching kids how to do Vines. Kind of everyone, like all these kids do that now.
But I think that's something that, again, coming back around to the idea that it's such a different place now compared to when I was coming up, it's so much easier because you have everything you need to build your career on the smartphone that lives in your pocket, right? When I was starting out, that simply was not the case. You had to buy a camera, you needed a computer, you need all these other things. You can get away with so much just with your phone today that it lowers the barrier to entry, where before, if I wanted to really make YouTube a serious thing, I need to spend several $100s at least, but you can get started right now, which is part of the reason why I think that while you shouldn't go into it, again, benchmarking yourselves against the Casey Neistats of the world, I do think it's worth trying, because what's the worst case scenario? You develop a skill of some kind of craft of creating content that could benefit you in the future, or it could benefit you today. You never know.
So much goes into content creation that the skills you think of, you don't associate with content creation. Biggest one is like research.
Yeah.
You know, as much as people like to say, you know, cite your sources when you're writing in English class, why do I have to do this? Blah, blah, blah. That was a huge thing, especially, you know, like me, especially being able to research as well as I've been able to do, especially in the early days of This Is.
Yeah.
Like, that was a huge thing with content creation.
If this is something you've made to this part of the video, you're a different person than most, right? If this is something that is interesting to you, and when I say this, I mean anything related to new media, right? I mean, that's super broad. I think there are a few things that are just very applicable, right? I think the idea of being able to write and to research is something that will be useful in the vast majority of any kind of job, right?
Yep.
I mean, those are just skills that are nice to have in life, right? I think, like you said, time management is something that's important. But for me, the thing that's always pushed me through is the idea of having passion and the ability to put some hard work in, right? I think that overcomes almost anything, right? I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. No one knows what they're doing when they start. Yeah. But you see, like, I feel like it's time after time when you look at someone who has achieved some level of success in any industry, right? The recurring theme for the vast majority of them is they put in a lot of hard work, right? Everyone wants to take it to, you know, a viral TikTok to get them 30 million followers. Cool, well, good luck. I mean, if you hit that, but you can't engineer luck. You can engineer hard work, right? You can always work harder. Obviously, there's a culture where that gets toxic and you're working 18 hours a day. But like, I'm not saying that. Don't be lazy. Go get it.
That's what I always worry of, like, when I see like a big influencer say like, oh, you know, just pulled an all-nighter doing the edit, you know, blah blah. It's sometimes that's a requirement. It is. But I think a lot of people take that as like the only, like, oh, you're not working hard enough because you didn't pull an all-nighter.
Yeah.
Like,
and you can also that can also go in the opposite direction of, I'm gonna be a little rude. You might be making something that sucks,
right? And
no amount of hard work is going to fix that thing. But if you're able to put the hard work in and constantly learn, maybe the next thing you make won't suck, right?
If you're going to spend the all-nighter tweaking it, making it, you know, figuring out what works, figuring out what doesn't work.
Or plan the next thing you're going to do.
Right. Not just doing the same thing over again.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's good. And I think you're like a great example of just, you know, what is it like to be like one of these influencers, how it differs from this.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, just because I feel like other people would ask you this, and this is something I saw in the Hype Simulator.
Okay.
If you're not doing this, what are you doing?
Oh, if like I stopped doing YouTube stuff?
Yeah.
Oh God. It's like, that's a question that I've never had a good answer for.
Micro Center.
Yeah.
You know what? That was like legitimately before I ever made YouTube content. My main goal was like, I think I'm gonna work at Best Buy. I would much rather work at Micro Center, but
having worked at Best Buy, don't do that. And having worked at Radio Shack, they're out of business.
So Micro Center is the future. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this slightly unusual episode of This Is. If you found any of this entertaining or useful, please consider subscribing, ring-a-ding the bell, like us on TikTok and MySpace. And until the next time we get a viral hit, thank you very, very much for sharing your time with us here at This Is. I will catch you guys tomorrow.